Hi guys, Cheryl Fergus-Ferrell here. I just wanted to give you a little bit of context about the audio clip that you're about to listen to. So a few months ago on my radio show Sat Chat, I ran a competition called When Life Gives You Lemons, You Make Lemonade. And the idea was that people got in touch with us and shared very personal, heartfelt stories that they felt would be inspirational to other people, and to basically just demonstrate that in a time of crisis they've taken a bad situation and they've tried to make a positive out of it. So the winner of that competition was a lady called Christine Lord, who's based down in Southsea. She's a journalist and she is a campaigner. And sadly, Christine lost her son Andrew at the age of 24 to VCJD, which is the human form of the mad cow disease. She has been a fearless campaigner ever since she lost her son. She has taken her fight to Parliament. She has done a documentary. She has written a book, Who Killed My Son. She is constantly in the media promoting awareness, holding people to accountability, demanding justice for her son and for all the other people who have lost their lives to this disease in what she feels has been a massive cover-up of information. Now, she got in touch with me last week and asked me to listen to an audio clip of an episode in Emmerdale whereby they were talking, two characters were talking about the mad cow disease, and they were dealing with it in such an insensitive way. They were also putting out a lot of mistruths there, which I think can have quite an impact given the viewership of Emmerdale and the fact that a lot of people have heard of mad cow disease but they don't really understand how it's contracted and the devastating effects that it can actually have. So this interview that you're about to listen to is between Christine Lord and an interviewer at the BBC Radio Solent.
ITV has apologised after joking about mad cow disease in a recent episode of the farming soap Emmerdale. It's acknowledged that the comments were distressing to people who've lost relatives from the human form of the illness, as well as being misleading. Well, here's an extract from the programme which suggested it could be caught from dirty farm overalls and that people were no longer dying of the disease.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, I thought I could help Moira out for a few hours.
What, in her filthy overalls?
They've just come out of the wash. Come on, Mum, Dave's such a killjoy.
So, how are you going to have your operation if you get mad cow disease?
Is that even a thing anymore?
Bit of fresh air will do her good.
Oh, you think this is funny?
Well, you said she couldn't go out, but you never said anything about bringing the farm in here.
Yeah, and you can't get mad cow disease from a chicken.
Get that thing out of here now.
That's an excerpt from the ITV programme Emmerdale, which was broadcast before Easter. Well, let's speak to Christine Lord from Southsea. Now, Christine lost her son Andrew to variant CJD, the human form of mad cow disease, and she joins us from our Portsmouth studio. Morning to you, Christine. First of all, then, what was your reaction to the programme, which was broadcast just before Easter?
Well, I was so distressed and saddened and upset. Not only was it ridiculing people that have died of mad cow disease, but it was also totally non-factual. And, there are millions of people that watch this programme. It is about a farming community. Many farmers have died of VCJD, farmers' wives, farmers' children. And, to ridicule a disease that devastated my son. Actually, when Andrew was dying, he was 24 when he died, I had some personal diaries, and I feel it's very important that ITV, your listeners, and Ian MacLeod, who actually produced that episode, hears what it's like from a person that's dying of VCJD. So this is from the 3rd of August 2007. I asked Andrew how he is feeling. Andrew replies, "If I get out of bed, I fall down. I just want to be normal. I can't feel my legs anymore. How can I ever get out of bed again and into a bath again or work?" Andrew is now unable to cry properly as the muscles in his face are slowly being paralysed like the rest of him through the human form of BSE. I see 2 tears squeezed out of his violet eyes and they fall onto the bedsheet. He tells me, I can't remember anything. I get confused. And I think I'll be dead next year. Outside is a brilliant summer's August day. Children's laughter and voices in the distance drift up through the open window. And my Andrew will never live to see another summer. You know, how can you ridicule any disease, but especially a disease that is so devastating in that, and especially in the contents of Emmerdale, which is about a soap about a farming community which reaches millions. You know, millions of people will now believe that VCJD has gone away, when 1 in 2,000 of us now are the carry or incubator. You know, I was devastated, and the number of texts and phone calls I got from families that have been affected and bereaved by VCJD, you know, my phone was non-stop. But also I had loads of, you know, comments and that from people that haven't been affected by it, but actually follow my campaign. You know, as a mother, I'm devastated, but also, you know, I have to be the voice of Andrew and also all the victims and the families. And that's why it's really good that Marie came on earlier to talk about her son Dean.
Now let's hear from the producer of Emmerdale, Ian McLeod. Now they have we did request an interview, obviously, and they have turned down that request. But I know you've received a letter from Ian McLeod, and I'm just going to read an excerpt from that. It says, "Let me start with an apology. I can't imagine how painful your experience with your son must have been and must continue to be." He says, "I'm sincerely sorry for the distress caused by this episode of Emmerdale. The intention was not to portray Debbie Dingle's comments as scientifically sound, but rather as an ignorant remark based on a half-understood news story. However, her ignorance is perhaps no better than ours for failing to appreciate that the human form of this illness still affects many people today, and that as a result more care should be taken in referring to it." So that's a response from the producer of Emmerdale, Ian McLeod. What's your response to that then? What do you want to see happen?
Well, my response, I wrote a long letter to Ian and an email, and I also phoned ITV as well and had a long conversation with various people there. And Ian has, what I think, personally apologised, but what about the thousands of other families that have also written and also been affected by this that actually haven't had an apology? And I think ITV have a duty of care to redress what actually went out, especially as the scenes in Emmerdale were not only distressing to the bereaved families, but totally inaccurate. So I actually suggested to Ian and ITV that further scenes in Emmerdale should be filmed where characters discuss VCJD and BSE in a respectful and a factual manner. Otherwise, viewers who will continue to be ignorant about this disease and the ticking time health bomb. So I've had no response in that area at all. So sending me a letter from Ian, you know, I appreciate he personally apologised to me, but ITV has done nothing to redress or rectify the inaccurate and disrespectful scenes that went on between Debbie Dingle and Sarah Dingle. And, you know, we must remember Sarah's a young girl, you know, the youngest victim of VCJD has been 12 years of age.
Christine, thank you very much indeed for your comments this morning. Christine Lord from Southsea, who lost her son Andrew to variant CJD, the human form of mad cow disease.
I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to follow me on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and SoundCloud at Fergus-Ferrell.